Moonlit encounter. In the depths of a bamboo forest shrouded in darkness, a lone samurai walked with heavy steps. Moonlight filtered through the bamboo leaves, scattering silver light that made his figure shimmer like a shadow. The sword at his waist was no longer a symbol of pride but a heavy reminder of his past. Its blade bore the memory of countless lives taken. The early summer night breeze carried the rustling sound of bamboo leaves, whispering like distant voices. Occasionally, the soft sounds of sleeping birds echoed in the distance, causing the samurai to pause and scan his surroundings, a habit ingrained from his days on the battlefield. 3 springs had passed since the war ended, yet the memories of battle refused to fade from his heart. The weight of every life taken by his sword still bore heavily upon his shoulders. Seeking escape from this burden, he had wandered from village to village, town to town. That night, fate brought an unexpected encounter. In a small clearing within the bamboo forest, the samurai met a woman who seemed to be wearing moonlight itself. Her presence was ethereal yet carried a profound serenity. Her kimono gleamed softly in the moonlight, and her long black hair swayed gently in the night breeze. She appeared as if the moonlight itself had taken human form. "My name is Kaguya," she said, her voice as pure as the wind through the bamboo grove. Something about it carried a hint of nostalgia, like a melody heard once in a distant memory. "I have come from the moon," she continued. Strangely, the samurai felt no surprise at these words. This mystical encounter, though seemingly surreal, felt somehow inevitable. Her presence carried more truth than any of the countless people he had met on his travels. They talked quietly in the bamboo forest, their stories unfolding on nature's moonlit stage. The samurai spoke of his past, the lives his sword had taken in battle, the burden that drove him to wander, and his search for a reason to lay down his blade. As he spoke, he stared at his hands, remembering countless faces in their final moments. Every soldier who would never return to their family, every young warrior who died thinking of home. These memories continued to haunt him. Kaguya, in turn, revealed her own telepathy loneliness of eternal time on the moon. Her yearning for the Earth's people, and the brief time she was granted to walk among them. Her eyes held a deep sadness. "On the moon, time stands still," she explained. "In that eternal silence, I always watched the earth. I observed all your joys and sorrows from afar." Her words carried the weight of immeasurable time. The solitude of immortality, a different kind of burden from the samurai's guilt, yet equally heavy. "I have only until dawn," she said softly. "When the sun rises, I must return to the moon." The samurai felt a bittersweet ache in his chest at these words. Yet strangely, this melancholy brought healing. Though fleeting, this encounter felt deeply meaningful. As the night deepened, they sat in companionable silence under the starlit sky. Words became unnecessary, a peaceful understanding flowed between them. The occasional hoot of an owl only deepened their shared quietude. When dawn's first light began to color the bamboo forest, the samurai awoke. As he had sensed would happen, Kaguya was gone. Yet surprisingly, instead of loss, he felt a gentle sense of fulfillment. Morning birdsong filled the bamboo grove as gentle breezes played music through the leaves. The samurai stood and took a deep breath, the scent of morning dew refreshing his spirit. His encounter with Kaguya had given him a new perspective. The weight of the lives he had taken would never disappear, But he made a vow to live differently now, to use his strength to protect life rather than take it. That morning, he examined his sword with new eyes. What had been a symbol of his sins now held different meaning. This blade would become a tool for protection. As he made this decision, the morning sun reflecting off the blade seemed more beautiful than ever before. Before leaving the bamboo forest, he found a young bamboo shoot reaching toward the sky, glistening in the morning light. He gently touched its tender leaves, feeling the pulse of new life. At dusk, the samurai looked up at the sky once more. The moon was still faintly visible. Standing in the rustling bamboo forest, he allowed himself a small smile. Even if they never met again, the memory of this one night would shine forever in his heart. The moon would continue to watch over his journey. Somewhere, he felt, Kaguya was watching too. And so the samurai began walking a new path, not to take lives, but to protect them. With the precious lesson of his encounter with Kaguya etched in his heart, his journey was just beginning.